except for itself. When the eyes with faith and the natural faith, natural intelligence that Allah has put, whatever the eyes see, physically or whatever, it will see also its creator who is behind it. Not to say it's going to see Allah, but it sees, this is coming from the creator. This is the mercy of the creator. This is the kahar of the creator. This is, everything is, like what we say before, everything there is a signature of Allah. How close you are, you're not only going to see the signature, but you're going to see, let's say, the power that is behind it. Yes? Everything Allah creates, there is power. With the eyes of the faith now. That's why Allah is saying, don't you see? Why are you not seeing? This is for people of understanding. There are signs everywhere. In the seas, on the ships, the ships on the seas. See on the ship? The ship on the seas, the light and the darkness, the sun, everything, Allah is saying, these are signs for you to know that this is from your Lord Most High, Most Great. So you are looking with that. You don't need to read a book. With the eyes of faith. As the ayat is saying also, everywhere you turn, there is the face of Allah. Yes? Doesn't mean face. Huh? The face is describing some sort of personality, some sort of identity. It's not everything, but it is that. Close that door. Why are they making so much noise there? You understand? Now, the ego is seeing itself when it sees, doesn't like nature also too much. He wants to control that. He wants to destroy that. He wants to fight against it. Because in reality, the ego cannot fight against nature. Yes? Go on a ship on the ocean, alone, no matter how powerful, strong you think you are, this is your reality. You're helpless. Storm coming, forget about it. Yes? Any force of nature, then he's saying, there is some force that is greater than me. Put you back into your station. I'm a creature. Ego is thinking it is so much, so high, so great, but it's nothing. Don't ever think your ego is greater than your spirit. The spirit is the greatest thing that Allah has created. But the spirit will never say it is great. The spirit always says, Allahu Akbar. But the ego always says, Annahu Akbar, although it has nothing. Now for you to turn your face to Allah, it's not just turning your face to Allah. First you have to turn away from your ego, away from yourself. That is the difficult part. Turn away from yourself. Turn away from your own thinking, ideas. Turn away. Slowly, that's why everyone has to be trained in this. Tariqat is there to give you that training. Turn away from, don't look to yourself. Look to the one who is teaching, because that one is taking from that one, taking from the prophets, taking from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're looking, in reality, they are just a direction. Like the Kaaba, it's just direction. Idiot people thinking we are worshipping to the stone. Yes? As idiot people thinking because of people's love to the sheikhs, the proper way, the real proper ones, of course, they say this is kufr. But that one is just a direction. Direction meaning is the direction directing. It says, not me, it's here, 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 here. Allah, to Allah, it's not me. It's like the Kaaba. No Muslim thinking we're praying there, that we're praying to the stone, and don't think Allah is also living in the Kaaba. Astaghfirullah, hasha. Yes? So now to enter, the steps are endless also, because once you face to Allah, bring it down a little bit. Once you start to turn your face to Mawla, to Ahirat, to the Prophet ﷺ, let's say to your Shaykh, that time is not just facing him. You have to turn away from yourself. If you turn away from yourself, your face starts to disappear. You have to take on his face. You have to take on his color. Yes? And Allah is saying, yes, Sibghatullah, the best of the color of Allah. So now you have to start changing, because it's not just turning and facing. You have to disappear. Some way, somehow, like this, like that. I don't mean your face is going to change. Your face will change physically also. A little bit here and there for those who can see. It does not mean you are going to become copies of that, no. But you will know where you fit. You have an identity. You're not going to feel lost. You're going to say, I belong in this haqq. This is my part here. So when you face there, it's not just facing, but once you start doing that, Allah is saying, once that servant draws near to me, I will be his eyes that he sees, his tongue that he speaks. Yes? That means the servant now has to lose all of that egoistic personalities and to take on the color and the personalities that is coming from the heavens. Start simple. Start with the heavenly ones. Start with the colors of the prophets. Because you start from there, they will lead you to Allah. That is their job, to lead you to Allah, not to themselves, never. So turning your face to Allah, yes. Then turn your face to your Shaykh. This is one of the reasons why we have pictures, at least to physically first, to start from that. That's why you're sitting down, you look to your Shaykh. You understand? What about this subject? This subject has been talked about for over 1,000 years. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, just to look at the Kaaba stone, the Kaaba, it is worship. It is, you get sawab from it, no? That's why Muslims like to put the pictures of the Kaaba like this, like that, because it reminds. We're not worshipping it, but it reminds us. Then Allah is saying there are certain men, when you look at them, they will remind you of Allah. Of course, they're not Allah, but they will remind you of Allah. Now the saints are now saying, now, who is more valuable in the sight of Allah? A stone or Hazrati Insan? And tariqat, 40 tariqats, 41 tariqats, also taking from Hazrati Ali. I say 41 also because Naqshbandi order also through Imam Ja'far Sadiq is also from 2 wings from there. Other tariqats, they may take just from Hazrati Ali. But this is taking Hazrati Abu Bakr Siddiq and Hazrati Ali. There is also there. And what the Prophet ﷺ is saying, just to look at him is considered worship. Yes? Why is considered? Of course, I'm not talking about people who take this to extreme, or you abuse it, or this, or this, or this. We're not talking about that. Like if I show you a sword, like a Damascus blade, Damascene blade sword, right? Let's say Japanese, how is that? What the sword is called? Kitten. A katana, whatever. You take the sword, we talk about the sword, talk about the beauty of the sword, talk about how sharp it is, the precision, everything. We talk about that because we are concentrating on that, yes? But can the sword be abused? Of course. Can wrong people take the sword? Of course it can. Of course it can, but that is not the real proper use of the sword. Now, for people saying, now you're talking about respect to the Shaykh and to the Prophet, now it's going to lead you to kufr. We say anything can lead you to kufr. You don't have to start loving the Prophet to lead you to kufr. Why nobody talks about loving yourself that can lead you to kufr? Why nobody talking about loving your father that leads you to kufr? Why nobody talks about loving your mother or your children or your husband or your wife that leads you to kufr? Or this dunya. Why? Because we love that Prophet. You say leads us to kufr. You know what? In 1400 years, no one from the Sahabis up to now that they love the Prophet so much that it caused them to say that he is Allah. To kufr. That saying he is a partner. Hasha. Never. So hold your horses. Simmer down. So now, to look. I'm not talking about people who abuse this. I'm not talking about so-called sheikhs who abuse this. I'm not talking about foolish people who go out of their way. I'm talking for what it is intended for. Okay? So, for that, there is a great secret and an advantage to that. When you have that, when you're looking, when you are attaching yourself to it, when you're listening, when your face, your personality, you're facing towards that, your character facing towards that, and you want to be like that. Because the Shaykh is teaching about the values and the characteristics of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. It is him that we're running after. And you say it is wrong to run after, then you have said 124,000 Sahabis that they are wrong. So, turning your face to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to turn your face to the Holy Prophet ﷺ first. Before reaching that, you have to turn your face to the one who is going to teach you about that Prophet. And in this tariqat, it says, before you can properly turn to those ones who are going to teach you about your Prophet, you have to turn your face away from your ego. People are coming here, they listen to our sohbats, listen to our khutbahs about love. They think they can come here, behave any way they want, say any way they want, do anything they want, think anything they want, and we will love them. People are coming here thinking, oh, we're talking about love and this, so they come in, they do certain things that are wrong, and we say this is wrong, this is not good. Say, you are a hypocrite because you say love, you accept everything. And now you're telling me I'm wrong, you're saying you don't like this and this. It's not showing intelligence. Leave your ego outside. Leave your insincerity outside. Leave your stubbornness outside. You cannot now say, oh, I love this. You're talking about love, love, love. And then I'm going to come here expecting with my stubbornness, everyone is going to love me. No. Allah does not love the one who's stubborn. How can we love? And if your beloved one is stubborn, you cannot have that same kind of love to that one. At least for that characteristic, you say this is wrong. You love people around you, yes. But the characteristics that are wrong, you cannot love. You cannot say, because that one is my beloved, any wrong characteristic, it's okay. It is not. It is not. So this has to be understood. And some people, they have to think, understand a little bit more before they can come, because it may be too much for them. It's too much for people who are here sometimes. It's too much for those ones who become more stubborn and more arrogant, even if they stay here every day for 10 years, 20 years. Not only those who just come. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Allah forgive me, inshallah. And bless you. Fatiha. Evet.